Well, an Australian university has launched a new course on flying cars. A spokesperson from RMIT said, quote, "The future of work is moving at an incredible speed. Jobs that didn't exist 10 years ago are now in high demand."
It is, would you believe, a similar story right around the world. A recent report confirmed that 14 million current jobs will not exist globally in the next 5 years. So, what will 9 to 5 look like in the future, and is there any way to safeguard your current career?
Oh, this sounds interesting, doesn't it? For more, we welcome back futurist and author Michael McQueen. Hello, Michael.
Good morning.
So this new uni course in flying cars,
yeah.
That must be just the tip of the iceberg. Educators must be scrambling to keep up, right?
And there are so many courses like this, so just whole new things we'd never even thought of 5 years ago. So in the US, the leading fashion design school now has a core module in designing avatar fashion. So shorts and shirts and hats, what they call skins for people to wear in games. That's now a core part of their course. So we're seeing new courses come online, but also just the way universities teach is just so different now. So, you know, the issue with obviously ChatGPT, having students writing their essays using that technology. But there's now a thing they use, I don't know if you've heard of Quillbot before. So Quillbot allows students to paste what ChatGPT produces into that platform, and it rearranges the words, so the teachers at university or school don't know that AI wrote the essay. And so
it's one bit of AI helping out the other bit of AI.
Correct, it's exactly it. So we're seeing the whole landscape of education changing really rapidly.
It's like me fixing up your questions before we come on air, right?
It's just basically correcting everything that I do. Michael, just a bit more on the flying cars.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing. So we saw 3 months ago the FAA in the US have now mapped out essentially sky lanes, they're calling them. These will be flying taxi routes across the major US cities. So they're gearing up to have these services in the next 2 or 3 years. In Australia, we'll have the first vertiport, they call it, for flying taxis operating within the next 3 or 4 years in the north of Brisbane.
Talk us through some other jobs that don't exist today but might in the next 5 to 10.
Yeah, so there's some that you may have heard a little bit about. So one would be a prompt engineer. So that's the job of someone who actually creates the content or the questions to go into these AI models to get the best from them. Yeah. We talked about avatar fashion designers, an ethical AI coach, which will be helping people and individuals use this technology in an ethical or moral way. And the other one will be a digital detox therapist. Now, previous to the previous segment around people losing themselves online and needing to disconnect but not knowing how to do that, particularly with social media, that becoming a thing.
Okay, so they're the ones that are on the way in.
Yeah.
What about the ones that are on the way out?
Well, yeah, there's a whole lot of jobs, and I think we've seen early stages of some of these jobs. So obviously people like bank tellers and cashiers at supermarkets and the rest. We're also seeing things like referees or umpires in sporting matches. Anyone in sort of the secretarial or research function for law firms, we're seeing those jobs being taken by AI to an extent. The big one is telemarketers. So there's a technology I came across recently called protocol AI. This is, I think, freaky. What it does is it actually uses AI to make a phone call to someone to sell them something.
Sure.
You think you're speaking to a human, but you're not. And it can laugh and interact as if it was a human speaking to you, but it's a bot that's making the call.
Those people are annoying enough as is.
Correct.
You don't need fake ones.
Yeah, so that's moving very fast.
And what about...
I can see that.
Can you? Oh, aggravating. And what about in Hollywood? It's been all but shut down. This is, of course, what's been happening with the writers. How big a threat is AI as a challenge to the industry?
I think for so many industries, it is a threat to some things that we do. So the expectation is, and McKinsey's released a report last month suggesting 60 to 70% of what we do in our jobs could be automated by AI. This is not taking jobs out entirely, but just changing the function of our roles. But the reality is there are things we can do as humans that AI can't do. And so as we think about the future, and particularly those of parents who have with teenagers, as they gear up for the world of work, you know, what are the things they need to be really focusing on? It's the human stuff. It's creativity and intuition, judgment, empathy. Robots don't care. That's what we do as humans. So how do we dial that human stuff up? And I think that's, I had this great quote recently from the woman who heads up the London School of Economics, and she said, in the past, jobs were about muscle, being able to physically do stuff. Currently, they're about brains. In the future, jobs will be about heart. And so how do we...
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that great? I love that. Like, how do we dial up the human stuff? Because robots just don't do it.
For those of us who don't have a lot of the other things.
At least we have heart.
Well, yeah, like, you know, that's something to look forward to as I come to the end of my working life.
Oh, Miles.
But we shouldn't be scared, because there was a time where we were scared of the World Wide Web and we were scared of Google. We shouldn't be scared? A little bit scared?
I think be aware.
Be measured?
Yeah, be measured. Being moderately terrified is not a helpful state to be in, I guess.
Right.
But like, it is challenging because it is as a confronting idea. I get that, and I think the reality is your job probably won't be taken by AI, but it could be taken by a human who knows how to use AI. And so it's like you need to still be upskilling yourself, but also realising that there's a lot that we do as humans that is just uniquely us, and that's fantastic. And you look at a profession like accounting, we were told years ago that spreadsheets and MYOB and Xero and QuickBooks would take accountants out entirely. They are busier than ever, but doing different work.
Yeah.
And so they're adding different value to clients now. That's where we're going to see a lot of professions head.
Good.
Absolutely fascinating.
Being a futurist, though, that would be quite good at the moment too, I imagine.
There's never a dull moment. I tell you what.
You're in a growth area there.
Will there be digital futurists?
I'm sure there'll be an attempt to make them. I have no doubt.
You look after yourself, won't
Thank
you? Okay.
All right.